Welcome to the UGC EPG Pathshala lecture series in computer science. In this series of lectures, we have been looking at the subject software engineering. This session will be a continuation of the previous session, which will be on the fundamentals of software testing. So, as we continue with the fundamentals of software testing, the learning objective remains the same, but to recall the primary definition or the objective of software testing, testing is executed with the intention of finding an error in the program. So, with that as an objective, we are working on multiple things. But before we get to understand on software testing, we need to understand on two important terms which are quite interchangeably used and which are very important towards software testing. These two terms are verification and validation. These two are quite often interchangeably used, as I have mentioned earlier. In a sense, sometimes when we validate, we say it as verification, and when we verify, we say it as validation. So, we will try to understand what the primary differences on this verification and validation focuses on. So, what we are trying to do is, we will try distinguishing between verification and validation. In simple terms, if you want to understand these two terms, important terms, verification is nothing but it is the idea to find, are we building the system right, are we building the system right. In sense, we have drafted a specification, and when we wanted to verify, it is with the specification we are finding out whether we have met all the specified or all the requirements that we have specified under the SRS. So, are we building the system right is supposed to be verification, whereas validation, there will be a very small or minor change, are we building the right system. So, this need not primarily be from the requirements software. So, there will be a small difference between system right and right system, but by and large verification and validation are two different terms which are interchangeably used. But this has been quite an argument, because at the time of specify, the objective of stakeholder is got to known, and that has been converted primarily into a specification. So, after getting the specification, the product is being developed or the software is being developed as per the specification criterion, and now that the responsibility of either a testing engineer or any person who is involved in the development team will primarily test whether this meets the specification rather than whether we are building a right product. So, most of the things which we tend to do is we try referring it with the specification. So, it becomes verification, whereas validation is a argument to find out whether we are building the right product. So, to define these two terms, verification and validation, verification is the process of evaluating products of a development phase to find whether they meet the specified requirements. This is what I have been mentioning. There has been a requirement specification. The intention of verification is to find whether the person who develops the system meets the required specification, whereas validation is the process of evaluating software at the end of development process to determine whether the software as such meets the customer's expectation and requirements. So, this is to a required specification. Only with regard to specification, anything that we test, we call it as verification, whereas this validation gets on to the customer's perspective. So, the customer's expectation, is it being solved, or and the requirements are clearly met. So, it becomes validation. So, the objective of verification is to make sure that the product is being developed is as per the requirements and design specification. So, anything that has been mentioned as SRS, which is software requirement specification, and SDS, which is system software design specification, the product that we are trying to develop should be on par with both the SRS and SDS that we have drafted. Whereas, the objective of validation is to make sure that the product actually meet up the user requirement. So, we tend to find out how this product meets the user's requirements and check whether the specifications were correct in the first place. So, following activities are involved. There are a list of activities during the verification phase. One will be reviews, meetings and inspections. So, these meetings, reviews, initially after having coined software requirement specification, we will conduct further review meetings or inspections only with regard to meeting the specification. So, it will not be majorly dependent on the stakeholders, whereas with respect to validation, many activities involved are black box testing, white box testing and grey box testing. So, these will be as a part of validation scenario. To continue with the differences between verification and validation, verification is carried out by a quality assurance team. QA stands for quality assurance. So, quality assurance team will ensure whether we meet the appropriate specification which was drafted in the beginning, to check whether the implementation software is as per the specification document or not, whereas validation is carried out purely by a testing team. So, testing team, although they verify, but then it is their responsibility that how the users might experience on the same product. So, how the acceptance, how will be the mindset of the users or the acceptance of the user in terms of working on this product. So, execution of code does not come under verification. So, we will never try executing the code as per the requirement specification document, whereas execution of code comes under validation. Verification process explains whether the output are according to input or not. So, what has been given as input, are we getting the appropriate output as desired by the user, will be purely verification, whereas validation describes whether the software is accepted by the user. So, it is all users experience and users acceptance ratio which people tend to produce as part of validation. Verification is carried out before validation. So, we can either say it as validation, verification is a subset of validation. So, primarily we are trying to ensure that we verify the document, accordingly we develop it, and finally we validate with external users so that it becomes proper for its usage. Validation activity is carried out just after verification. So, following items are evaluated during verification in terms: at the beginning, whatever that I have analyzed and prepared as a plan will be verified. Requirement specification, that is software requirement specification, which is SRS, will be verified. Software design specification will also be verified, code and test cases, whereas validation will test on the actual product or the software. Not only that, if you look at the cost as a perspective, the cost of error caught in verification is less than the errors that was found in validation, because at the time of verification we go by what the requirements specify or requirement and design specify. So, the cost of error during verification will be far less when compared to the validation phase. So, we conduct both of these, verification and validation, to meet the user's expectation, thereby any communication that has been misspelt or the communication gap that happens between the end user or the stakeholder and the developer will be easily sorted out here. So, the cost of error that were caught in validation is more than the errors found in verification. So, validation, the cost alone is not the problem, but then the number of errors that were found during the validation might also sound more. So, it is basically manually checking the documents and files as like the requirement specification. So, verification is purely like checking of documents and manuals whether whatever that has been written in the document is mapping, whereas validation is a check of developed program based on the requirement specification document and files. So, whatever that has been existing without looking at those documents and files, whatever that I have developed, now that I map it to the document and files which is already been existing. So, it is like a black box wherein we work without knowing what the desired output would be, and then we try mapping with the user's expectation. So, now we have made it very clear that verification and validation are two different terms, but at the same time these two terminologies are to be used invariably at the part of testing itself. So, verification and validation both are mandatory, but when asked about verification and validation, the primary difference that we may have to point out is, are we building the system right or are we building the right system is the primary difference. Verification talks morely on or more on system right, whereas validation talks right system. So, by right system we ensure the quality of the software, whereas the system right, although it ensures the quality, but then this is a subset of validation. After getting on to this, now we will continue the discussion that we had in the previous session, where we were trying to understand the primary focus with which we wanted to do the testing. So, some of the good process or practices that we may have to adopt while doing our testing are, as the number of detected defects in a piece of software increases, the probability of existence of more undetected defects also increases. If in a software we find, or in a piece of software or in a whole of software, if we find many detected defects which are quite favorably repeating, same will be the case of undetected defects. So, as it is likely to increase on the probability of undetected or detected defects, in terms of undetected defects there will be more in the number of undetected defects. So, assign your best people towards testing so that they will identify both the user's expectation and the specifications, requirement specification and design specification. So, they would have conducted both the verification and validation, so that we ensure right set of people are doing this task, ensure that testability is a key objective in your software design. So, any proper product will go under a phase of testing. So, we are trying to ensure testability, it will certainly move towards this testing phase so as to assure the quality of the software. Never alter the program to make testing easier. Testing is mostly like every other activity, and it must start with its own objectives. So, we should know with what as an objective. Say initial discussions of this particular session talks more about intention of finding an error. So, error need to be identified right from the beginning. So, intention of finding an error should be the major objective of getting into testing. When you are given with a program, the program will have low level classes, subsystems and applications. And when you have low level classes which are supposed to be called units, and subsystems which will be like an integration of certain units, and application will be a complete system. So, we may have to decide what is to be tested or what to test. So, how to decide on what to test from the program. So, a program might be larger in quantum at the lower level classes and comparatively smaller when it comes to subsystems, and finally it will be developed as an application meeting all the specifications that has been mentioned. So, now what should be tested, whether we should test it at the lower level classes, or should the testing happen at the subsystems, or should the testing happen at the application. So, all three phases require testing. In turn, a testing which is conducted at lower level classes we call it as unit testing, and testing which is done at the subsystems we call it as integration testing, whereas a testing which is done at the application side is supposed to be called a system test. So, testing need to be thoroughly happening on all phases of your program, and so as to ensure that every line of code is as per the specification document and design document. Although we try doing it for simple programs, we try doing it by manual testing, there are certain automation tools that exist for testing applications. So there will be a primary question where how many times have you written code and then sat in front of the keyboard running through different test cases. So test cases play a primary role while doing testing. What does this test case mean? Whenever we are writing a program, finally we need to give certain inputs which will identify certain outputs, and does it map really with what was desired by us. So take for example, if you look at a program of quadratic equation type, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, the output need to be real, imaginary and equal. So it should fall under any one of these three categories, but then we are given with an equation and we substitute with constant values a, b, c with some values. The intention or the objective is to find whether the roots of the equation lie in any one of these three classes, that is equal class or real or imaginary. So that we can find it out from the mathematical equation that you might know, x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. But then although the entire formula plays a vital role, but then we will find out whether the roots are real or equal or imaginary from a simple equation that is within this x, which is b square minus 4ac. If the value of b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then we will say the roots of the equation is equal. If the value of b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, we will say it is real. If the roots of the equation is less than 0, then we will say it is imaginary, because after taking the square root, it can particularly mention that the roots of the equation will be imaginary. So defining three different objectives while deriving the problem itself. So a problem of quadratic equation will derive or will find out the value of x either to be real or imaginary or equal. So the output is known after having done the programming. It is the intention that we read or we meet the entire specification as desired by the user. So the user's expectation primarily might be to look at the roots of the equation, whether it is real or imaginary or equal. So those are supposed to be the test cases. Now in this connection with respect to the automated tools, how many times have you written code and then sat in front of the keyboard running those test cases? So majorly we will not try doing for almost all the test cases. If you start writing the first program, the first output that we might look at is very simple application. I think earlier classes, initial first two discussions I would have told you, when we write a hello world program, we type hello world and see that whether it satisfies, it tries satisfying all the requirements given by us. Or if at all I want you to test for a number 0, 100, then it also tries meeting the requirements. So we give well within the limits, but then we do not find anything out of the boundary. So how many times have you actually thought about test cases? So these are supposed to have derived as a test case, where what would happen if it crosses the limits. So 0, 100, check for, find a number or given any number, find whether it is between the limits, then we will say 1 is within the limit, 99 is within the limit, 50 is within the limit, we will finish the program. But we do not take, or we do not rather consider whether 0 and 100 inclusive, what happens in case if I cross the boundary of 100, that is by giving 101, what happens if I cross the boundary of 0 and say minus 1, what will be the output. So that we are least bothered. So the intention of testing is to not find the actual output within the limits, but then how would the system respond if given outside the boundaries also. So those are supposed to be the test cases. So, many a times we do not decide to do that, but it is the actual intention with which the programming has to be done. So, the good news is that there is a better way and it is never late for the new beginning. With the help of automation tools, it can do the entire set of tasks. So, a few key tools that make running tests a part of your building, and you have scripting softwares that you can automate it. You have Expect, which is a very powerful tool. You have Quality Test Professional, some of the automation tools like Quality Test Professional, which also looks after the entire job. So, today we have ample set of automation tools, Windrunner, LoadRunner. These are some testing tools which help you to rescue from what has been specified and what has been desired by the user. So, this bridging the gap between can be very easily been done. So, as such, as we have described, scripting is one of the automated tool, where imagine you have a bunch of executable that test various parts of your program. So, we have small bunches of executable programs that is available within us, and we talk about how they might be built very shortly. Imagine you have written a shell script to run them one at a time. How do you know when one fails? That is, you can check the exit code of a program running from the shell script, where it has got if checking for a condition, then, else, if. So, if the executable exists abnormally, then the then clause executes. It means that if the given input or the condition is being verified, I will have a set of output, or then, or else if. We will try using alternate loops also. So, that way you can do a scripting language and find out very easily that in case of error we can switch between different loops. There are strategic approaches towards testing which begins at the component level and works outward towards the integration of the entire computer system. So, initially the lower level classes are supposed to be the components that we assign it here, and after having tested each and every component or the lower level classes, it goes outward to test two combinations of lower level cases or the components which make it to one integration. We can combine systems like that, so that we build a complete system which is appropriate for the entire application to be developed. So, different testing techniques are appropriate at different points in time. The developer of a software conducts testing and may be assisted by independent test groups. So, there can be multiple sets of test groups who can do all these tasks. Say a developer by himself will be a unit tester, or a developer apart from his job can do a unit testing, but then there will be a tester who will be doing unit testing again on the product that has been developed. So, the developer of a software conducts testing and may be assisted by independent test groups for large projects. So, the role of independent tester is to remove the conflict of interest. That means, anything that does not meet the requirement or anything that has been deviated or that has been identified that it has not met the specification as desired by the user, inherent when the builder is testing his or her own product. So, he can be an independent person also who can test, but here he will be a validator, where he will validate and say that this is not the specification with which we wanted the product to be developed. So, he can change the specification. So, this change of specification need to be met initially from the SRS, SDS and implementation, and finally it goes back again to the testing scenario. So, we have testing and debugging, two different terms. Now that we are looking more about testing, and we are to look at about debugging also. How do you debug in case if you have found that to be an error? So, these two are two independent activities. As a part of testing, we will find where the error has happened, and as a part of debugging we will change the entire piece of code so that it meets the actual specification or the revised specification as met by the user. Debugging must be accommodated in any testing strategy. So, any testing strategy after it has gone through a phase of testing, it should allow or it should make room for debugging also to happen, so that it actually converts itself to meet the specification given by the user. So, this needs to consider verification issues like, are we building the product right. So, this is actually called a verification, whereas validation, are we building the right product. So, this is what we have seen it as a difference between the testing and debugging phase. So, as a part of testing we will say more on the product right, but as a part of validation we will say right product, but this right product will be got only after a phase of debugging. So, testing ensures the product right, whereas testing with debugging ensures the right product. Testing, not only that, testing specify product requirements in a quantifiable manner before it starts, and testing objectives are more explicit. Identifies all the user classes of the software and develop a profile for each of the user class. So, as I have told you in the triangle that I have mentioned, it starts with the lower level class. So, it identifies what are the user classes and develops a profile for each and every user class right from the beginning, not just at the top level where the application need to be tested. So, we have to develop a test plan that emphasizes the rapid cycle testing. So, once when we are specifying the requirement itself, we will do the testing plan and identify what should be the actual output and what is the desired output. So, a testing plan will include this list of requirements and with its input and output also. There will be a column of expected output, there will be a column of actual output, and this expected output is supposed to be after doing the part of development or coding, whereas the actual output will be as required by the user. So, that mapping need to be done. So, develop a test plan that emphasizes rapid cycle testing, and this ensures to build a robust software that is designed to test itself, that is an anti-bugging uses anti-bugging debugging software, anti-bugging software that will be robust in nature, and it is designed in such a way that it can test by itself. Not only that, this uses effective formal reviews as a filter prior to the testing, and we may have to conduct formal technical reviews to assess the test strategy and test cases. So, every level of testing after having done both with the verification and validation, we do a technical review and we assess the quality of every testing strategy with the help of test cases that we have developed. In short, in this particular session we have started initially with the fundamentals of software testing, but then I have introduced on two different terminologies, one as verification and validation, which plays a vital role when we are doing software testing. Although these two words look similar, but then they are two different words. Verification concentrates mostly on the product right, whereas validation concentrates on right product that we are developing. So, verification will be initially done, only after that validation can be performed. Verification checks whether we meet the requirements as specified by the user. So, any requirements that has been collected from the user initially, that will be verified with, and then it will be validated with the user experience so as to build a right product. Not only that, we have concentrated more on the practices of good testing, or any practices that we have come across, we said we call it as good testing practices. And although we see multiple parts of the program that gets assembled by itself so as to build an application. So, we have a basic question of what to test. So, it can be on lower level classes, it can be on subsystems, or should we test on the application. So, it is mandatory that we do it at all the levels. So, whether it could be unit or integration or acceptance or system. So, everything need to be tested right from the beginning. So, it is not the assigned to only tester, it is their responsibility to test their own product. So, everybody becomes a tester on their whole, but then there need to be an independent tester who will test meeting all the standards as specified by the user. And finally, we have discussed more on the strategies of testing. Thank you.